everybody. Welcome to another episode of Four Guys with Quarters. Hopefully, it's the correct link and my mic is working and you guys in the chat can hear me and it's not muted. And if so, thank you for being here. I definitely appreciate it. And tonight we have some news drop today about some football games, and hopefully GameStop will lower the prices on the older ones. So that's one of the benefits. And other than that, I'd just like to go ahead and introduce the panel real quick. You know, it's always a pleasure talking to everybody on this panel here. So for his first show ever on Four Guys with Quarters, we have the infamous PKX Live. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's happening? I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here with all you guys welcoming me. I hanged out with you guys before. You guys are always awesome, and I'm glad to be a part of the family. Thanks.
Yeah, welcome, man. It's good to have you here. You have a lot of knowledge about games. You are analytical about games, and you know what you're talking about. I hear a lot of the conversations about Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and stuff that I would never understand, PK, and those games will come up eventually. So definitely need your advice on some of that. And
no doubt, even though I feel a little embarrassed that you said this on
hey, there's nothing wrong liking what you like, man. And plus, you got Flamish into it, so that'll probably get him off golf for a little bit, get him into the Yu-Gi-Oh club, then we can kick him out of the golf club. And he's not on air today, so he can't defend himself. So, and welcome back, Mama. How you been?
Thank you. I'm back this week. Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's good to see No Hat Mav back. If you don't have your hat.
Yeah, I got one here. I can throw it
got
on.
One. Oh. Okay.
Hey, it appears we have another guest.
Does.
Yes, we have Infinite. Hey, Infinite,
fake you
can
out?
you hear us? If you need to adjust your mic, it's lower right settings, the three dots, all the way to the lower right. Also, Infinite has the world's coolest arcade room behind him.
I like his.
Look at that.
I like his. I like his hat. Can't hear you, buddy.
Clowns would appreciate my hat at Salt Life.
I'm just realizing though that Infinite is actually Midway's doppelganger.
He is, isn't he?
They might as well be the same person in two different rooms. And like Infinite's there in some kind of looks like retro game store virtually, which is awesome.
Midway's my doppelganger. I was here first.
Okay.
There he is. Hey, welcome to the show, man. It's the first time you've ever been on this show.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Flamish was too busy chewing on some candy, playing some golf. He's like, I'm too important for you guys now. I'm a celebrity. I'm Belgiumese, and you know how he is.
Belgiumese.
Yeah. We miss our little Belgian buddy. I'll send him a message.
Floop to poop.
Wow, thanks, Killer Scorpion. Much appreciated. We appreciate that, definitely. So, Infinite, what have you been up to, man?
I'm just relaxing.
I like that game room behind you.
Oh, this is set up by beautiful Jay. Why not? Might as well use it for a backdrop.
Yeah, dude. That's pretty awesome. It looks like a video game museum or something.
Yeah, I don't know where you got the stock photo from, but looks pretty good.
It looks like
I'm wondering where
you put your arm to
Wait
the
a minute.
left.
That looks kind of like my house. No, just joking.
Got any velvet ropes back there? Don't be touching anything.
Velvet ropes. Only to tie people up with.
There we go. I'm just trying to adjust stuff on the fly. And you know what? Welcome back, Fun Speculation, aka Mav, the world champion of Halo on Community Game Nights. How's it going?
No, that would 3-Bit, I think, would be the world champion of Halo, and not just on game nights. He was a legit pro. maybe going pro again. Hey, what's up, guys? Shout out to the Nittany Lions. I see represented on screen, and I'm sure is Midway Monster rocking a Chicago Bears hat right now, or what kind of hat is that?
No, it's for my last time in Tampa. It's Salt Life
Oh, okay. I couldn't
for
see what the
those
logo was on it.
for those fishermen out there. Shout out to those hardworking fishermen.
Right on. Yeah, we got, dude, it's a crazy day. A lot of stuff is happening today. It's like stuff's happening as we speak right now that we don't even know with the EA earnings call, right? So a lot of fluid stuff, a lot of exciting things to talk about. I love the topics that you sent us. Man, it's gonna be fun.
That's a great topic list I got.
Yeah, Infinite's kind of going in blind. I got to get
It's
the
all right.
list over to him.
That's why I like it.
Yeah, you don't mind it, right? That's the
No,
Retro
right.
Renegades rule. Going
That's
in
the way to do it.
blind.
No topics.
Yeah. And Midway, man, what is going on? How's it going out there in Chicago with the snowstorm? As you are like the Hulk Hogan of Chicago, you probably just tap the shovel and all the snow just disappears.
Listen up, brother. No, I don't know. Yeah, it's what about 9.5 total for the week that we had, 9.5 inches. But shout out to everyone in the New England area, man, with that nor'easter going on. They're getting buried right now. What's going on, guys? Great day. Excited for all these topics. Welcome, Infinite. Finally, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Talked to you a couple times on the Retro Renegades. So glad to have you here. Mum, welcome back.
Thank
Glad
you.
to have PKX as a panel member. Very excited. Mav making the rounds, going to other podcasts. Don't forget where you came from. And and ready to get this going. Let's go.
All right, man. Yeah, sounds good. So, I mean, this is probably a really small topic at this point, but I figure I'd go ahead and bring it up. It's the first one on the topic list, and it's not long at all. So, Sega separates its gaming division through a corporate restructure, and for a while, I mean, well, the internet still has the rumor that it's probably because maybe somebody might buy the gaming division. It doesn't matter to me at this point. I really do hope they end up with Xbox Game Studios, but I think it's just a corporate restructure, and it's not really a big deal. Companies do this all the time, especially when they refinance debt or reassess assets or move people around a company. I mean, that's my quick take on it. But you know what, PK, it's the first time you're on the show. So I want to go to you on this. Do you think this means anything?
I think I think it means they're trying to save their business. We doesn't mean that their gaming division will get bought. It doesn't mean that entirely. It just means they're susceptible to being bought, right? We've seen this plenty of times. I mean, when Time Warner and Warner Media separated, right? Remember Time Warner Cable? When they separated from their parent company, Warner Media, they still was their own company, but it just made them susceptible to being bought. So doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that also doesn't mean it won't happen. It just means they're just trying to survive as whatever entity they decide that they're going to be after this separation.
Yeah, I think you're right on point with that. I think it's pretty much basic and straight to the point. Mav, I know that you've been talking some Xbox numbers lately. You got some analytical skills. You're like an accountant lately. So, does this mean anything to you?
I don't know. I mean, I find it all interesting. I don't know 100%. Like you always want to look into this stuff, and it's like, does this mean something? Because of more or less because the rumors have already existed before this happens, right? So this isn't like, hey, this all of a sudden happens, and now there's a bunch of rumors swirling around. There was already rumors swirling around, and now that you see this, which makes something like what we had talked about even more possible. right? So that's where you start to think like, hey, is there more going on to this? There was some interesting stuff going on Twitter revolving a Spanish tweet that somebody was saying that, hey, they have insider information about Konami and Sega making some kind of a partnership with their IPs and a platform holder. It could be Xbox, it could be Sony. So one way to save a business is also to get help from other companies as well, right? So if you combine this with a lot of the other stuff that we already had talked about before, you got the controllers, right? You got Sonic Blue here, you got the red, for Knuckles, you got Aaron Greenberg's Hedgehogs tweeting out, all these interesting things. You got the green cocktails that Sega, put out there. It's just a little hints here and there. I think it's a good fit as well, especially on the Xbox side. But does this mean specifically, hey, this is happening because of this? No, but it makes it fun to think about for sure.
Yeah. I mean, speculating is always fun, especially when you're speculating with fun speculation.
Yeah, dude. I mean, come on. Okay, imagine this. You want to have some fun speculation. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing with the Xbox IPs mixed in there. All the rare games from the past. You got Banjo-Kazooie mixed in there now. You got, dude, you got Pirates from Sea of Thieves rocking in there in those cars. The possibilities are endless here, man. I want something like that to happen just because I think it'd be fun. I think we'd see a lot of the classic Sega IP brought back in some fun ways, because there's a gap there in Game Pass and Xbox with some of that kind of content. So for me, it makes sense, but we'll see if it happens.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind seeing, Master Chief get in a Yakuza game, and all of a sudden they just they go to a cosplay convention at a Sega arcade and they steal his helmet and run off.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen.
Could you imagine Marcus Phoenix driving around in a little car that has a chainsaw on it? Just splitting people in half with his little Lancer not Mario Kart, but Sonic car.
Oh yeah, that would be badass. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that would be really cool. Somebody's mic's got a tiny bit of feedback. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
I do.
I heard a little something.
A little bit.
Sounds like a bee.
Might be PKs, but it's better now. Infinite, is this Sega thing anything that you think's important? Are you guys, in Retro Renegades getting all excited? Because I know a lot of you are Sega fans, right? Are you going to get...
Yeah, many of us are. Yeah, no doubt. I think, fun speculation aside, no pun intended, I think, let's be honest, all companies at this time should probably evaluate their process and their roles and their procedures to become more streamlined and more profitable than they currently are. Maybe dump some roles out of employees that are no longer functional and push those roles and those abilities on to other people. So it could be just them, just a little corporate rebranding and restructuring for their corporate side to be profitable, maintain their profits. It would be great if Sega was purchased by Xbox. There's no doubt about that. We all like Sega. We all just last weekend played Sonic Generations on Retro Renegades. I mean, who could deny Sonic coming over to Xbox, playing next to Chief?
If you think about the massive amount of libraries and IPs that Sega holds, is kind of crazy. There's a lot of things in the Sonic universe that they hold. There's a lot of games under Atlas umbrella that they hold. Imagine Persona 4 Golden coming into Game Pass or something like that. That would be huge for many JRPG fans alone. That's a real popular game. A lot of people still go out and get the Vita just for that game.
Dude, we could go down a long list of Sega games. I mean,
it is a rabbit hole.
Dude, it is. I forget what show it was. I think it was on one of the Boom was actually talking about this maybe on Breakfast with Boom the other day. I can't remember which show he had, and I was in the chat because he was talking about it. I just like kept listing all these like Sega IPs, and yeah, I had some help from Google because I was like looking on there. I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this one. I forgot about this one. There's just so many, dude, and it's mind blowing actually if you look at what they're not using themselves. And I don't know why. You know, like the IPs that Sega has are crazy in nostalgia, and it could be relevant today if they had the right. I don't know if it's finances or what, but you know, they got stuff to use. I'll just say that.
You know, what I wanted to ask is, Mama, I know in the UK, I'm not sure how big Sega is of a franchise. I know that we did discover on the last few episodes that, was it Poundland's really popular, or Pound Town, one of the
Yeah.
stores. But is Sega a big deal over there in the UK?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we still have them in our arcades now. I don't know if you remember before me telling you about the penny arcades and stuff like that.
Oh,
Sega
yep.
is huge there. So I think, like, given the current like circumstances with COVID and everything like that, it'd be a good time for Xbox to pick it up. I'd love to play some of them games in that catalog.
Yeah, it's definitely
It'd be great.
Catalog.
Well, remember back in the 360 days, they had that arcade.
They did. It was like a
They
bundle,
had a
wasn't
lot
it?
of that Sonic bundle. They had a Golden Axe bundle. They had I got the Streets of Rage bundle. Like they got all these bundles, and have that the possibilities of teaming up with them, and you know the possibilities are endless, obviously. But when it comes to the studio split up, I mean, it like Infinite said, it just seems like they're more just splitting to prioritize, because you know, arcade and pachinko is totally different than console gaming, in my opinion. So they just want to, and it could be to prepare for some sort of partnership, because obviously, if Microsoft wants to get in bed with Sega, they probably don't want to do anything with pachinko machines. So there's a lot of possibilities.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, those pachinko.
Just tell me I'm wrong or I'm stupid or something.
No, you're right.
No, I'm
you're
just kidding.
absolutely right. The only person
You
that
are so right.
The only person that would argue with you is not here. His name is Flemish. He would tell you pachinko machines are gambling and they're bad.
Okay.
So you're good. You're good. You know, speaking of Sega, I mean, the other old time company out there that we remember from our childhoods is Nintendo. And it turns out, in the thread I posted, and PK's tweet alluded to this, as well as the Nintendo website, that Nintendo games were running on older hardware servers like Windows 98. Does anybody think that's like a big deal? I mean, they're one of the most hacked consoles out there. They just sued Team Executor. Thank you so much, Stephanie. They just sued Team Executor for the TX XSOS Pro and put a couple of their members in jail. And now we find out they're running on Windows 98. So, yeah, I would have some.
It still works.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that. Yeah, my concern would be like exploits on Windows 98 that weren't hot patched because it's so old. PK, you are a cybersecurity expert.
I don't know about expert, but you know,
okay,
I do work in it. You know.
Cybersecurity hobbyist.
That's my day job, but yeah.
What do you think about something like this, man? Like, is this like something that you'd be worried about? You're like, who cares?
I mean, you know, it is pretty. I mean, if the allegations are true, right? It is pretty. I would say, not just shocking, but flooring, because the Windows 98 kernel is basically what Windows Vista kernel, and that has been out of, I mean, EOL or end of life for how long? I mean, 7 went end of life just last year, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but ransomware is a real thing. That's probably the most largest uh, and most feared hack for any business. I mean, it just happened to Capcom recently, right? So for Nintendo to skeet by without that kind of thing happening to them is crazy to me, because they have a lot of people's financial data. And I mean, seriously, a lot of people's financial data in within their grasp, and unfortunately, far as PCI goes, the and PCI is just basically a standard that every company has to go by that uses any kind of financial information, and basically anybody who purchased credit cards or any kind of transaction as that, they have to go by PCI standards. And whenever you have to deal with that, it's kind of crazy, because it's almost as if they're willing to accept the breach, because if they get hit with a fine, it's quicker to pay the fine, whatever that is. It could be 500,000 or a million, whatever the agreements are, rather than basically have the security to protect everyone's um, personal data. So in my mind, I look at this and I see it as if they don't really care as much about their consumers' data. They care more about the profit of what they get in return. So, um, and I also look at it like, and I'm a Nintendo fan, so I'm not criticizing them because I'm a fanboy. I play every platform, but it also look at it like they obviously um, place. They're gonna get a pass. That's one thing that I don't like, is Nintendo get a pass for a lot of these things, and the other piece is they don't value their consumers as people, as investors, right? You want people to keep coming back. You don't want to lose them. They don't, they are not afraid of losing people should they get hit with a breach like Capcom did just recently. So I view that as a big deal. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but is really flooring to me.
Real quick, I just want to add on top of it, there's 3 things I want to say. First, shout out to Psychonauts, who dropped a $2 super chat to say what's up to everybody in the panel and in the chat. So thank you very much for that, man.
Sub Psychonauts.
Thank you.
So,
And Stubz said that the NHS in the UK is still running on Windows XP. They just paid Microsoft for security updates.
And that's a lot of money to do that. And trust me, you still would need some sort of a whitelisting or app control application to lock those units down, because there's no patching in the world that's going to save you for those kind of uh, vulnerabilities out there. For, I mean, literally the source code for those OSs came out. Is you can reverse engineer XP all the way up to 7 right now.
Wow.
I'm not, and I'm not trying to I'm not debating. I'm just kind of letting you know that's how vulnerable those systems are.
That's crazy. You know what? The other thing I wanted to say on this topic is that Nintendo is making money hand over fist. They're raking in the cash with the Switch, and
Absolutely.
to think that they couldn't upgrade their servers or go to a company like Amazon, Google, or Microsoft for cloud servers and different things while they're still using Windows 98 based technology. If, like you said, the allegations are true, and it seems to point that way, that kind of blows my mind. It really does, because there was hooks in Splatoon that looks for Windows 98 DLLs or something, is what some of the people are saying that reversed it. So that's just I don't know, man. It's insanity at its greatest.
But we know now why they don't have voice chat, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. They
Well,
could have.
Yeah, dude.
just not to interrupt, I apologize, but to piggyback on that, they charge for an online service for the Switch, but you can't send text message like clear text, the oldest technology you can do. You can't do that. Not
Yeah.
just voice, but you can't do text. And they charge for this.
It's only 30 a year, right?
Any amount of money, I mean, 30 years for texting, I would pay for, but you can't do that.
I mean, you don't even have like a normal online infrastructure of a like regular friends list or anything. You know what I mean? Like it's the Nintendo is so far behind with current like gaming features, right? And
They went back to cartridge for God's sake.
if this is to explain a reason why, then that's pretty bad. You know what I mean? I don't really understand the security stuff, right? Because it's like completely out of my wheelhouse, right? But if this affects even just the performance of the online capabilities and the quality and stuff, I mean, like, it's come on, guys. You know, like let's stop giving these guys a free pass, and because if you want to talk about companies being anti-consumer on a lot of things, you can say Nintendo, hey, the one thing they do good is they make sure they give you a finished product when they release it. Kudos to them for that, right?
And that's
But-
even debatable now.
Right. But there's a lot of stuff in the last few years, you know. I would say ever since they abandoned the Wii in the middle of the Wii generation, you know, ever since then it's there's been a lot of stuff going on that is not really for us, right? So let's stop giving them a free pass. If we don't give Xbox a free pass, if we don't give PlayStation a free pass, even though we love Nintendo, we have such nostalgia for Nintendo. It's a part of our childhood. It's part of our memories, as is Sega, right? They deserve to get criticized when this kind of stuff is out there, you know. So I'm glad that you brought this up. Like I said, I don't personally understand the technology side of this, but I think it goes in line with a lot of the other stuff we've been seeing from them lately. And like I say, the Animal Crossing only being able to have one island on your Switch, right? If you have more than one person that plays on the Switch, you're kind of screwed there if one person stops playing. The person that created the island stops playing, right? You have the Mario trilogy thing that was released for 3 months, you know, and then they're putting it back in the vault for some weird reason, you know. Get me wrong, weren't those games actually available on the Wii and the Virtual Console before? Or
Two of
something?
them was.
Yeah.
Two of them was.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
they were up-resed, okay? They were up-resed, right? But like to give them out and then take them away, you know? I'm not trying to just completely bash on them, but like they need to do better right now than what they're doing.
Well, the sales of the Switch kind of beg to differ with you in kind of a way that they what they're doing is their justification for not really being accessible. They're mobile, they're just not as accessible. If anybody
Yeah.
can get that, like Sony, you got an enclosed box that's stationary. Xbox, you're doing accessibility with mobility, and then uh, Switch is doing mobile but not accessible, and people would rather just have the mobile. And I mean, to me, like, you know, I work at a school, so seeing all the kids with Switches, you know, and they're all antisocial anyway, so they don't even they probably don't even use the chat or any type of
Right.
texting or messaging or anything like that. So, I mean, I think basically they just use that service as kind of like a vault service and not a social service.
Yeah, I guess as I've gotten older, I don't want my gaming device to be as much of a toy, right? And it's
Yeah,
like Nintendo
I
sees it
complete-
still as a toy, you know?
Yeah, completely agree.
But yeah, I just want to point out something that he mentioned before. It being on the older Windows 98 servers, you have to assume they're also running on older hardware that is limited and definitely cannot perform to the level of providing their customers the service they're looking for. So I just want to tell you that you are right on your assessment.
I mean, at the same time too, maybe Nintendo wasn't even thinking this way. Maybe they weren't even thinking about the future, you know.
Yeah.
So and they got caught with their pants down when it came to the accessibility when it came to online. So they said, well, let's do the next best thing. Let's make a handheld with
Yeah.
with a half-assed dock. So I mean, it's I think they did the best with what they could with their situation, but now uh, with the sales of the Switch skyrocketing in the way they are, they feel probably justified to not change it.
Yeah. And this isn't really even a knock on their I mean, the game designers, they're top notch, right? Like game designers there are
Right.
great. It's more of the just like the services and hardware, and you can even say, yeah, the Switch itself is great, right? But the software and the services behind it are lacking, right?
I'm pretty sure their Switch is probably faster than their servers that are running Windows 98.
Probably so.
I'm sure they started farming those out like they do in the old 360 or the old Xbox One. Yes.
I think the
Impossible.
360. I think the 360 infrastructure is better than the Switch infrastructure right now.
I'm pretty sure like Windows 98, like the max RAM you could have is like 1 gig. I mean, what are you doing with that?
I don't know about that, but yes, it is
No, it
pretty
is.
old.
I'm about 100% sure. I remember when I had a 512 in there and I needed to get another gig and I couldn't. I had to get two 512.6. And that's 512 megabytes, guys.
Is this like, are they using Napster to transfer data between?
No, I don't think Napster could run on Windows 98.
You're probably right. That's around that time. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Where's that article located at?
I thought it was 2 gigs, but I mean,
I think
bottom line,
you modify the addressing to get 2 gigs, but I think even server wise, it's probably 1 gig.
bottom line, they're talking faster than their internet connection. So
Yeah, I don't know. Is that possible?
I'm looking up the article for you, Infinite, because I know that PK had posted something about it in the chat.
I just want to see what the validity of it is. I can't believe it being. I mean, I would even have a hard time saying Windows 2000.
I mean, that's 23 years old at this point, right? That can't be
Yeah,
real.
I mean, their Switch is probably faster than the entire server farm they have running 98.
so just to give you a perspective here, Windows 98 wasn't even designed to do networking. Neither was XP, but we somehow figured out how to make it work. So just think about that if you let that sink in. It was only designed to talk to 10 PCs, period.
ugh.
Yeah. So how is this possible? Even like technology, I don't know.
That's why I was just wondering if the validity.
I don't
of
understand
the
tech,
article.
but it just sounds fishy to me. Like this would be a real
Yeah,
thing.
Windows 98 is pretty fucking old. No offense,
I think in their budget they got Scotch Brite and Rust-Oleum to make sure that those metal cases don't rust over.
Who was the source? Bill Gates or?
No, okay, so I pulled up the source. It's called Nintendo Everything. And
Okay.
they updated the article with further clarification. So I'll read that off. We
Okay.
now have further clarification on the multiplayer system. Thanks, Dan. NEX is about 20 years old, though Nintendo has been using it for 10 years. The tech was created by Quasel, was called Rendezvous. Ubisoft bought them out in 2010, and Nintendo then licensed it and renamed it NEX.
Still doesn't help them.
No,
That makes it better.
just because it's the same like licensing
shining a
and
turd.
stuff, it doesn't mean they're necessarily using the same thing they started using back then, right? Like,
I
don't know.
Nintendo's still using it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, have they upgraded? Like, okay, like Unreal is a license, but they've Unreal is 5 now. Like that's what I'm getting at. Like just because something started then doesn't necessarily mean it's the same today as it was when it started.
So listen to this. So they're hearing reports that Nintendo is shifting from NEX to a different system called NPLN, which Monster Hunter Rise would be the very first title to use it in public.
Okay.
So out of all Nintendo games, this would be the first title to use a new multiplayer system outside of NEX.
Interesting.
How many
It means
crashes do you
nothing
think
to
you're gonna
me.
get over under?
So I don't know what LPN. It sounds like it sounds like a covert name for um, whatever they're calling it, but not really saying what it is. If you know what I mean, like they're calling it this, but I have no idea what the in-house backbone system is. Whatever that is, I don't know what that is.
So did you say LPN?
NPLN.
MPLN. So
Probably
there,
like
I don't.
Windows 2000.
So yeah, I don't know what the backbone of that is, but they're definitely just calling it that as a quote unquote whatever the name is that they're naming it, but that doesn't mean it tells us what's running it. I have no idea what that is.
NPLN, new phone line network.
No,
I can hear the startup chime now.
it's definitely just a Nintendo thing that they're
Oh,
naming
man.
it. It could be Windows. You know what I mean? It's whatever they're co-naming it to keep it secret is what I'm getting. Nintendo's all about secrecy.
Yeah, Pong. Pong play. Nintendo Power Live Network.
Yeah, I
There
love
you go.
Something like that.
I like it.
That wouldn't surprise
Power
me.
That
Limp.
would work.
Power Limp Network.
Maybe it comes with a free Power Glove Mini.
Woo.
Yeah, I'd be excited.
Or a
Wouldn't
power
it?
pad, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Just Nintendo is the fact that they're using old architecture is still sort of dangerous, and it's probably why sometimes when you play Mario Kart, people zip past you in the clouds. I'm just saying, it probably has something to do with that. Maybe people exploit the heck out of that system by now, but we'll see.
It is scary. It is. I just want to say it is scary, and if it's that weak, I guess you could say of a possible break-in, like I'd be scared if I was a Switch owner who had their information on.
Well, if you're on Switch and then somebody calls, does it automatically hang up the game?
Windows not getting sold. It won't even say you have mail.
Yeah.
So to give you guys another thing to think about is when Sony got hacked on the PS3, they were using XP servers at that time. Just
Okay.
FYI, so that kind of shows you and you remember they were brought down for what 3 months. Their PSN network was brought down for 3 months, and all of their users, private information was
Exposed.
basically, exposed. So, not to say that will happen to Nintendo, but I'm just showing you the level of weak security can do. Especially we don't know what kind of security practices Nintendo uses. Obviously, you can't place proper security controls on a Windows 98 system. You just can't. It's impossible. So we don't know what that looks like. We just hope that going forward they do invest into better security controls. Otherwise, it will be a Sony situation all over again.
Well, especially now that this is wide out in the open. I mean, this is going to get so many, what do you call it, homebrew hackers curious now to see the extent that they could push these things. So hopefully they do add some security to it. Now it's all over the internet.
Well, you gotta stay one step ahead of the hackers, right?
Yeah, like Stubbs just said the same thing that I was thinking. Public hackers rushing to attack the Switch system now, and it's been no hidden secret that the Generation 1 Switches were hacked beyond belief with the Tegra exploit from the boot ROM, and then from there people were actually be able to see the cartridge IDs and the Switch serial numbers when they went online, so they could swap them with other people and get other people banned for a while until Nintendo did something to change like that man in the middle stuff. So, yeah, Stubbs is absolutely correct. That something needs to change and change fast for Nintendo. Other than that, there will be a lot of clueless parents be like, "Oh, Johnny's Switch doesn't work today. I wonder what happened. Johnny, did you spill your milk on it?" It's gonna cause a lot of issues like that. Mama, you have anything that you want to say on this topic?
I don't really have anything else to add that hasn't already been said. I like Nintendo though, but yeah, no, I've got nothing to add.
Okay, fair enough. And I mean, moving on to the next topic. Oh yeah, HDK, I agree with you. Nintendo should use the Xbox Live framework. That would be a good selling point for Xbox right now to hit them up with that and be like, "Hey, we can help you guys out a little bit. Let's work together." So I know some other podcasts cover this, and Mav and I actually talked about this on Primetime Game with Mr. Boomstick and Friends, but the medium made back its production cost plus marketing cost, which for me I think is a big deal because the Bloober team is kind of like a small team out of Poland, and they really put their heart and soul into this, and it was kind of like the other guys over at CD Projekt Red were working on Cyberpunk, and to me I kind of laugh about this when I think about it because we can see how the two games came out in different states. And the medium blew my mind. Like, I think it's a really fantastic game, and I will do a review on it on the channel. But just for the fact that this went into Game Pass, made all its costs back, tells you that they must have had some sort of good deal with Microsoft that they probably can't talk about. It's under NDA. But also the fact that they actually did sell copies of the medium. Like, this game actually sold. People didn't just say, "Oh, I'm going to pay $1 today to play in Game Pass." Like, everybody jokes about that. "Oh, you're not making money because people are just paying $1 and cancel." No, people actually bought the medium. I mean, they went out and they bought this game. So it's promising to the Bloober team. And they've evolved so much from their past projects like Blair Witch and Layers of Fear. I mean, they are slowly getting better and better with each take on everything. And I'm mind blown. I really hope to see more stuff out of the Bloober team. I hope their teams get bigger so they can work on more than one game at a time. But, Infinite, I don't know if you played the medium. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I have not played the medium. I've downloaded it. It crashed on me 2 or 3 times within the first 5 minutes, and I gave up.
Whoa. That's not...
Yeah,
that
my whole Xbox... I think Centurion had the same issues. Just crashes it, dings, makes a weird sound, boots right back up. I was like, I give up.
Wow. Well, I hope they patch that.
And it's only that game. I've had other issues early on when we first got the Series X, but yeah, I don't want to give it any more risk or any more chance. I'm eager to play it though. It's available.
Can't blame you. That is concerning. I hope it gets patched so they figure out what's going on with that because
I think Pong Soul mentioned they already had some kind of an update on it. So I don't know if you played it like day one, like right away, or if you later.
Second day in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I played I'll just jump in. I played about an hour. I got up to the part where I met Sadness, and I had to go to bed. But great look, great feeling. I used the headset, so I heard everything. Yeah, the fact that who knows what kind of Game Pass deal they had with Microsoft, but they just talked about the copies. They just talked about the copies of it being. So that's a very promising note for Bloober team. It's funny when people actually play a game and not have to worry about a Metascore. You know, like if you do have Game Pass, you're gonna try it with an open mind, and you're not gonna worry about a bad investment or not. Which to me, uh, the uh, the medium definitely has that retro feel to it, which reminded me a lot of, minus the tank controls, Resident Evil 2. So back on the PS1. So it brought me back, not just in the story, but in the nostalgia as well, which I heard was their intention. So I mean, great on them. I'm happy for them. You always want to see a developing team succeed in their games, and let's hope to see what we have in the future.
Mama, have you played the medium?
I have, and I reviewed it as well.
She reviewed it.
I
Hey,
did.
Where did you post your review so people know?
What did I post it?
Yep.
Over at mulehorngaming.com.
Fantastic
Links on my
site.
Twitter.
Yep. Fantastic site. Check it out, everybody.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought, again, like Midway said, it reminded me of an old school. It reminded me of Resident Evil, like the ones that used to play on the first PlayStation. Love the dual screen, although it confused me a bit at first because I kind of didn't know where to look. What else did I like about it? Oh, so many jump scares. I've never jumped so many times in my life.
Now,
it's quite a short game.
Did you play it in a dark room with the volume all the way up?
I did not play it in a dark room. I did have the volume up quite high though, and I might have pooped myself. Yeah, no, it was good. It's good. It's a good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The only thing I would say is that the fixed camera, and I get where they were going with that, but it does take some getting used to, because I'm so used to like panning around and being able to see where I'm going, whereas with the fixed camera, you only use the right stick or the left. Is it right, left stick? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm glad it's done well.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that's a game they put in Game Pass on the first day of release, because I'd figure they would want to try and sell, a lot of copies first, but obviously the deal must have been that good for them to take advantage of it.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, if you've got Game Pass anyway, just download it, see how it is. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. But might as well.
Kind of like how everybody on this panel that has Game Pass should play golf with friends sometime.
Sorry.
I had to throw that in there.
I played you on PGA, clowns. You just that first putt. Other than that, you're pretty good. So
out of it. If one of us is downloading Golf with Friends, we're all downloading it.
That's right. Yes, that's the way to think. Hey, what's going on, Fastback? Daz says sup ping pong, whatever that means. I think he means he wants a user.
I think he's talking to Pong Soul.
Oh, okay. He's feeling his soul out with that. But Mav, what do you think about this?
So Medium, I've played probably a couple hours. It is definitely like the story has me hooked, right? It's one of those games where I have to know what happens next. I have to keep unwrapping the pieces of the puzzle, right? So I love games like that. Now, the thing that's strikes me the most is like you could say, I guess there's a little bit of controversy over the the camera, right? But that's my favorite thing about this game. The fixed camera and moving around the environment. It's like you're in a. It's like, okay, this was created exactly how they wanted you to see it, and you're getting to step in there and experience what they want you to see, which I think kind of helps increase that tension a little bit. The unease. You don't know what's off camera. You don't know what you can't see, and I freaking love that. And that goes back to the Resident Evil days, and I hated when they changed that. That was my favorite thing about those games, because it gave you that tense feeling of like, hey, when you make that next step and you reveal the next area, you do not know what you're
So you don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's behind you. Like,
you could be stepping outside, or you could be stepping into a hallway. You could be stepping into like hell. You don't freaking know. You know what I mean? No clue. So that kind of stuff, I've missed that so much in games, and I'm so happy that they like had the wherewithal and the guts to like bring that back. And the other thing is, when they do it like this, it's like you're looking at a painting, right? And it's like every detail is placed specifically in a certain spot for you to be able to see 100% on purpose, and it makes this like still image that you can capture. That's amazing. So artistically and game design wise, I'm loving this so far. Story wise, I'm loving it, but it's because I like those old throwback games like Resident Evil, like the first one, So if you're not into that kind of stuff, if you miss the boat on that, or you think it's old school or whatever, you're probably not going to like it as much. I didn't run into the problems that Infinite had, so I don't know if maybe it's already updated at that point, but that would have pissed me off too, and I would have been done with it, right? Just like I had been done with Call of Duty for a while when it was doing that. They finally fixed it. But as far as the other side of this, like acquisition potential wise, them getting their money back and all that stuff, like this was an independent studio that took a big risk, going bigger than they've ever gone before, and they hit it out of the park for them on this one. They're already in the profit. This game's going to sell way more than anything they've ever done before. Way more. It's going to make them more desirable for potential to be acquired. And if you look back at their history, right? If you're trying to make a decision on, okay, what's a studio that can make content, they can get it pumping out, and they have a history of getting better and better with the releases that they make. Go back to 2015's history. Okay, let's go 2014, because I got it in Wikipedia in front of me right now. Since 2014, they've released Basement Crawl on PS4. 2015, they've released Brawl. 2016, Layers of Fear. 2017, Observer. 2019, Layers of Fear 2 and Blair Witch. And 2021, The Medium. That's a lot of games in 7 years, right? And this one is a step above all the rest. So kudos to them for keep improving and doing what they're doing. And I think it's a match made in heaven if Xbox were to actually pull the plug on this studio. I like the partnership they've had since Blair Witch on Game Pass and the Medium on Game Pass now. I think it works well for both of them. So we'll see where it goes. That's all I got.
That would be interesting. No, I mean, that's some very good thought there. My dog was kind of going crazy, so sorry for muting my mic. He was
no, you're fine.
Not a happy camper right now. But PK.
Yes, sir. So for me,
yes,
so
for you.
I have played it both on PC and Xbox Series, and I am pretty happy with the game. And the reason I played on both, so I can, see the fundamental differences like anyone else would. I have a 2080. I have a pretty aggressive computer that can handle. I don't have the new cards, but it does pretty well. I mean, DLSS is turned on by default. I found that pretty different, that you can't adjust it. It's just on. and it auto adjusts to whatever level it's going to sit at. But overall, I haven't finished the game only because of time, not because of not wanting to. The game is fantastic. Of course, I play my games pretty slow because I'm for some reason I venture out and play everything. I try to go in every little corner and find every little thing. Um, and for me, just so you guys know, this isn't the type of genre of games I play. I don't play, you know, thrillers or horror games or any of that stuff. It's not my cup of tea. But playing this, it feels more than that, right? It feels like you're caring about what's going on. It gets you sucked in. It's got all those elements to it that make me actually like this kind of game. And it does have that Resident Evil fixed camera angle, which is what I did enjoy in the very first Resident Evil game, right? That did make you feel kind of like there's something going on around the corner and you can't really peek around it, but you know it's something over there. You know, it's something that messes with your mind and gets you definitely involved with. And I would say between the PC and the series, the main difference is definitely the series is locked at 30 frames, and the PC, depending on your card, could probably crank it up a little more. And that's only, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna just put it out there. I know people who are like, well, PC is all this and that, but no, it's also a demanding game. But if you have a NVIDIA card, you have the advantage of the DLSS, which basically reconstructs the image for you. And I'm not trying to get too techy, but I'm trying to explain that because the machine learning technology is there for the NVIDIA cards, they can push out better performance. Now, with that said, currently AMD has not introduced their version of that. So right now the PS5 and Xbox Series does not have that super resolution technology. But when it does come, you will see a boost in performance on the Series X and the PS5, but specifically the Series X, because it has full RDNA 2 architecture, that all those games, especially the medium, may become unlocked and be able to play at 60 frames. So overall, I'm still impressed with the game. And don't get me wrong, just because it's on Game Pass does not mean they're not getting some sort of residual back from people downloading this game. It's no different than people streaming music on Spotify or Apple Music. You're not owning it, you're not downloading it, but every time you hit that song, the person who owns the music is getting a kickback. So keep that in mind.
Well said, PK. I want to give a huge shout out to Psychonauts. Thank you so much for the super chat and for joining the channel. It means a lot, man. I'd love to see everybody come out and support us and talk to us. This is just so much fun talking to you guys. And thank you again, man. Really appreciate it. Does anybody else have anything they want to say on this topic?
No. I guess not. I think we're done with the medium. I think did you get a chance to talk about it midway? I don't remember.
Yeah, I talked about how it was. They were just talking about the copies being sold, nothing to do with
Yeah.
any residuals or anything Game Pass business related.
Right on. We got some other fire topics here, man.
Yeah,
I know. I can't wait.
The next one I'm going to go to. So I think this has been talked about on a few other podcasts as well. So sorry if you guys heard this elsewhere, but I am pretty excited about this, right? MLB The Show 21 is coming to Xbox for the first time ever with the PlayStation Studio logo. And that doesn't even bother me. As an Xbox gamer, I prefer Xbox. I am excited to see that these kind of deals can be worked out in this age of where we are with technology. It's good to see that Xbox is very accepting of this approach and that Sony's willing to kind of do it. I know MLB might have pushed it a little bit, but these two companies still had to work it out, so it still had to happen. And for me, it's a sign of maybe good things to come in the future. To be honest with you, I think that maybe this could just be the icebreaker, and maybe in the future we'll see a little bit more give and take on different IPs that they feel that they could prioritize between the two platforms. So let's see, who do I want to go to? Mav, you are a huge Xbox fan. Are you out there breaking your PlayStation controller now because you're so angry about this?
Oh man, I'm just like so livid. Dude, I mean, this is awesome. I've been wanting just a baseball game, a real one, not that RBI baseball game on there, or there's this, was it Super Mega League Baseball or whatever? That's pretty decent, but it's not like MLB. I wanted an MLB game back on Xbox ever since 2K abandoned it. And to get the best baseball game over the last decade or so. I remember playing MLB The Show on the PS2. I mean, I'm super happy to have this game on Xbox now. To me, I don't care who makes it. Like, it's a great game. Like, I never get off on saying, "Hey, it makes me happy that other people don't get to play something." It doesn't. I don't care as long as I get to play it. That's what matters to me, right? Like I love baseball. I love sports. I am going to have a great time because I've always wanted to play this game on Xbox, actually, because I prefer playing games on Xbox, but I've always preferred the show as the baseball game, right? So this is like a marriage made in heaven for me. Like I'm really pumped about it. And I'm sorry if anybody out there gets upset about it. The other thing is kudos on MLB because I think they're the ones that are kind of forcing this to happen. I don't think this was just Sony saying like, hey, let's just go ahead and put this game out on Xbox to get more sales or whatever. I think this was a stipulation from the MLB and the updated licensing agreement, whatever they had, that, hey, yeah, you can continue making the baseball game, but we need it to be on all platforms because we want it to reach more players, which I think big IPs like, I don't know, Spider-Man or like things like that, maybe even Indiana Jones, I don't know, like big franchises, big IPs that have a huge fan base shouldn't necessarily be limited to such an isolated group, right? It should be more available to all people. So especially when it's not something even related coming from the gaming world. This is something that people that are just baseball fans will go and play. You know what I mean? That aren't necessarily gamers. So I think it's awesome, dude. I am excited about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. I just think about the future and hopefully we see a push for more stuff. Doesn't have to be like major first party titles like Demon Souls or anything, but maybe
Yeah.
like other stuff. I don't know. I have to think of some stuff now. But Infinite, I think that sometimes you might like sports. You got the Penn State hat on, right?
I'm much like fun speculation. Probably late '80s, '90s kid. Baseball was still king back then. I mean, we all enjoyed baseball games, especially on the Super Nintendo. We haven't had a good, solid baseball game on Xbox forever now, and so I for one is excited about it as well. I think it's a good thing. I don't think it was PlayStation's idea either. It was definitely the MLB pushing.
Now, if you got this game and you played it, would you be a Phillies or would you be the Pirates?
Los Angeles was back in the day, Angels, right? Yeah. It's been a long time since I followed baseball, though. I'll tell you that much. But
Wow.
back in the day, I used to be a Marlins fan as well. But damn, it's been a while.
Man, I'm surprised. Everybody I know from Pennsylvania loves the Pirates or the
Nobody
Phillies.
likes the Pirates.
What? Nobody like what? I know a lot of people that like some Pirates. Mama, I don't know if you guys watch baseball in the UK, but is this something that just like interests you so much?
It thrills me. No, we do not have baseball, so that's me out of that one.
That's They've got a lovely gentleman's game called Cricket,
You're correct.
and certain matches actually last 5 days.
What?
5
Yep.
days? I didn't know
5
this.
days.
5 days,
didn't
8
forget
hours.
it.
It's a job.
go
They
home,
do
eat
it
lunch,
8
come back?
hours.
Shower, like start up again, or they just continuously playing for.
Yeah,
They-
like they
they
play,
they
it for
play 8 hours a
and they
day.
stop and then come back the next day and then start again. It's the same game. It's like
Ah,
5 days.
What? What?
Why?
What?
I can see
I
all
don't
the.
But why?
I wish I knew.
Like, does it
And-
have
and-
to
and-
reach a certain score and there's nobody and they just suck that much and that it actually takes that long to get there, or I don't understand the rules.
Put in a full day's work, boys. Let's go home. Let's try it again tomorrow.
and we complain that baseball is too long. I mean, it's like it's called like a first class match. Like if it's a first class match, it's gonna last up to 5 days.
Yeah, I've seen like triple overtime, but this is taking it to the extreme.
Yeah,
You
this is so. Question for you, Mama: if you buy a ticket to one of these games called, was it Cricket? I think you guys called it.
Yeah.
If you buy a ticket to one of these games, is it a ticket just for the one day, or is it a ticket for all 5 days?
I wouldn't know. I'm not a cricket fan.
Okay.
I can find out for you though.
Are you a
I could just-
grasshopper?
Yeah.
I could just imagine now, like there's like some hardcore fans that just sit in like the seats for the full 5 days and don't even move, and they bring like a bucket with them.
Right?
Like
It's
I'm gonna
fun.
sit here, I'm gonna watch the practice, I'm gonna get the
Yeah.
autographs.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find that out though, because I'm intrigued now.
So just to clarify what we're talking about, this would be like if Cricket the Show was exclusive to PlayStation for 10 years, and then we find out that it's actually coming to Xbox as well, and now Cricket the Show is on both platforms, but it's made by Sony.
Shock horror.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like this is this would be I'm gonna get this game. This is my first baseball game since 2K12 from 2K Sports. So
Ooh, I forgot to say the downside real quick. Do you want me?
Oh, go ahead.
I want you to be able to chime in on this midway, so that's why I'm interrupting you real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
It is because it is a Sony game. It is $69.99 on next gen consoles.
Yeah, we
Next
did
gen,
this was coming
yes.
for a while though, didn't we? I mean, they.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
but so I had a strategy with my because I got the Series S. Yes, it might be $10 more, but I do have my 1S still hooked up, so I might get the 59. But I don't know if anybody's been to the store lately. In the games coming soon section, MLB The Show 21 is included with Game Pass.
What?
What? No,
I
hold,
didn't
up.
see that.
Yeah.
hold on real
You
quick.
didn't
I
see
am
that?
looking right now on my phone.
You didn't see that? Yeah, it is
I
included
said
with Game
that's why I
Pass.
said it'd be news. I wasn't. We knew it was
Breaking
coming.
news
If we-
breaking
I'm not
news.
surprised
That's-
that it's
from
$7
Midway
title.
7 Monster.
News would be it's on Game Pass.
Midway Monster breaks the news that it might be coming to Game Pass as well as Cricket.
Yeah.
I don't love cricket. I've actually never seen a match.
Where did you see
But-
this? That it's coming to Game Pass. I have to see.
All right, so go to the store and to the games coming soon section. Go down to MLB The Show, and it says pre-order. But then at the bottom, in between the cover and pre-order, it says included with Game Pass.
Later, Telly. Thanks for coming out, man.
Huh. It doesn't say that on my screen.
Oh, it's saying it on mine.
Can you
I'll even
install
screenshot it for
early?
you.
Yeah, screenshot it, bro. I need to see this.
It's saying on mine.
Post it on Twitter so now everybody can use your tweets and official articles, and they'll credit you.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now.
Now I did see somebody reporting that they were getting a 20% discount on it, but it was removed, and that would indicate Game Pass as well.
Yeah, apparently it's been removed.
Because they also have we don't have this as a topic officially, but the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is also says included with Game Pass. Obviously, it's EA Play, but then all these games that every single game that I see on the coming soon section is Nightmares 2, Werewolf, The Apocalypse, all these like going to, it says included with Game Pass. Outriders included with Game Pass.
You have a glitch.
Yeah, I don't know what you did or how you glitched your console, or if Microsoft just messed up your account and just gave you everything free in Game Pass. But do you have a game share buddy, Midway? Because, sorry, Fleming.
No. No, sadly I don't. But I just backed out and went back in, and it still says it. So.
Wow, lucky.
I think you need to clear your cache.
Well,
what?
Clear your cache, maybe.
Oh, you guys can't see that. It's blurry, isn't it?
You can't.
Discussing
You
that.
can't. Well, I mean, you can't.
That would be news.
Can't, like, quit
That'd
the
be
app.
absolutely epic if you ask me, though.
Right. Oh, you're looking on the app on your phone, or
No, I'm looking. I'm on Xbox. I'm on their store, and I went out. I went into something else. I came back. Went to the games coming soon section. I've gone in and out 3 times, and it's not removing it. It's still saying included with Game Pass.
Wow.
that sounds like. I guess I don't know, man. It sounds like the Xbox app on PC is pretty janky at times right now. So it could be that. 'Cause I'm on the website right now, and it's not saying that.
All right, I took a picture, and I'm gonna put it in the DM.
I want it to be true.
I do.
I mean, badly do I want this to be true, because I don't want to spend $70.
If
nobody
Midway,
does.
imagine Midway just got accidentally put in some special program, and it's like a very selective program.
Oh, huh. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Stubz says it's not true.
Stubz.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought you liked me.
Well, I believe you that what you're seeing.
Can you post the picture?
True. I believe what
I just put it in the 4 guys thread. You're in the thread, right?
No.
Yes,
No?
it does
Okay.
say it on his. It also says Outriders. Holy crap, that's crazy. Now,
Everything. Hood,
are
Village, like everything's saying Game Pass right now. So
yeah,
I'll even turn it off and then turn it back on and see what happens.
Are you in the Insider program or anything?
No, I'm not on any program except Ultimate. That's it.
I'm gonna have to check mine and see, because if this glitch is there and you can accidentally get it to pre-order as a Game Pass thing, they might actually let you do that and get away with it before they fix it. Oh man! Pong says Microsoft Xbox has bought everybody.
Yeah, about the gaming industry.
Hey Mav, are you cool if I retweet that?
Retweet what?
The screenshot.
That would be
Hold on,
that
hold
was
on.
Midway. Yeah, that's Midway.
Midway. My bad.
Hold on, I wanna make sure you know.
Hey, I'm asking
He's gonna
first.
watermark it first. Hold on, give him a
Yeah.
second. He's gonna upload a new one.
It's still there. I just turned it off, turned it back on. It's still there. So if you want to, go ahead. Just say, hey, some dude's got this on his coming soon store.
Do you
And
want
then
him
if you
to
wanna
say
tag me,
that
that's
it
fine.
came from Midway? It's up to you, Midway. Do you want?
That's fine. You could say Midway 7 Monsters store has in the coming soon section. Everything is on Game.
And
Is on
Midway
Game Pass.
Monster
Everything is coming soon.
MLB The Show, and he's putting it on Game Pass for
And
everybody.
and Outriders too, yeah. You might want to like
Outriders,
watermark that
Left 4
Midway. So
Yeah.
Back for Blood, like all the Village, like all this stuff says Game Pass right now. So you say it could be a glitch if nobody else has it. It could be a glitch, but that would be really cool if it was on Game Pass.
You
Because
just have a
everybody, I
special-
think, would.
So is that a
Special
thumbs up?
app.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Was that a thumbs up?
yeah.
Go right
but
ahead, man.
PK,
Let's do it.
Are you able to watermark it real quick for him?
Not for anything of his without having his stuff.
Hold on. I might be able to find a watermark thing real quick.
All right, if you do that and then send it to me, then I'll.
And everybody, that's time for me. I'm gonna go prep for my other show.
All right. Well,
All
thanks
right.
for hanging out with
Thank you
us.
guys so much for having me. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. All right.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
bro. Thanks.
Pleasure, Infinite.
Nice talking with you.
Yeah, you got to come on more often, Infinite. And
Yeah.
Send the invite more often. Just put in the bat signal. I'll join.
All right.
Guys,
Thanks,
have a good
man.
night.
Good night.
Easy.
Yeah. So,
So
I mean,
nobody has the included with Game Pass on any game on the coming soon section.
I don't use the app. Let me open the app on the storefront. That app is like always
have the app.
Yeah, like I'm on the Xbox One store right now, like on like the system. So, and everything says included with Game Pass.
All right, store, and then you go
And
to
then
coming
go to
soon, right?
yeah, games coming soon.
Midway, in your Twitter tag real quick, is it Midway 8 Monster? Just want to make sure I get it right.
Yeah. Do you see it, Mav?
I'm still looking for coming soon. I'm on the app, but
so you're on your Xbox?
no, I'm on the PC. Do I need to go on the
Okay.
Xbox?
Well, you just got to get the Xbox Store, and then go down to games, and then
Yeah, I'm
you
gonna
got top
boot
new
it up my
games.
Xbox real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, the PC app doesn't have that coming soon section.
Yeah, mine
I need a
doesn't say.
I need a
With,
cross check.
All right, store. All right, games and coming soon.
Does anything say
Everything
included
says
with Game?
included with everything says included with Game Pass.
Everything. So for you too.
Yeah, but I don't even.
All
Yeah,
right.
there's the.
So
show.
that's
Yeah.
okay. So that what is it? Once is an accident, twice is a trend.
Well, I'm trying to repeat it. So
I need
you're
someone else.
saying I'm in coming soon right now, or should I go to Game Pass coming soon?
If you click on
No.
if you
Just
actually
games
click
coming
on
soon.
it, it doesn't say included with Game Pass. It just says pre-order for $69.99.
Well, then why does it even say it on the front?
Because there's some kind of glitch in their system that it's putting that little mark that says included with Game Pass on every game in their coming soon section. It's just some kind of storefront issue with their thumbnails.
I was gonna say because then they better fix that.
Yeah, they need to fix it. Yeah. Hey, hey, Phil, you're trying to. I'm going to take a picture because false advertising. You know what I mean? Hey,
Right, and you're actually making people probably not want to buy this game. So
well, screenshot failed. We can't do that. Oh, I can do it with OBS. OBS screenshot coming your way, guys.
well, if it's not real, at least I discovered a glitch that needs to be fixed. Yes.
Yes, you absolutely did. At least discovered
I watermarked it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the other news out of this would be, hey, Resident Evil Village is coming to Game Pass, and so is
Outriders.
Back 4 Blood, Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Yeah, right.
Good. Also, not just Resident Evil Village, but actually Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7 combo pack is coming to Game Pass. Near Replicants as well. Yeah. Balan Wonderworld, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, Outriders. Yeah, that would be awesome. Unfortunately, too good to be true.
Yeah.
So okay, so I discovered a glitch, and if not, I'm gonna tell you all I told you so I can have both ways. Okay.
I'm gonna bring it up on screen so everybody can see it.
Yeah, I got some good screenshots here to show you, clowns.
So everybody watching the stream right now, you can see what Midway's seeing. This is what he's
I wasn't
seeing.
lying.
Yeah, he was telling you the truth.
I was telling you the truth.
I tell you what, though, that would make my $14.99 very definitely have more bang for the buck with that.
Oh wow, yeah. So that's what that looks like, huh? And if you click on it though, you can't.
Yeah.
add 'em.
If you click on it, then it just is normal, right?
The pricing, yeah, like Mass Effect the Legendary Edition, it says included $53.99 with EA Play, so maybe maybe you were right. My hopes are broken.
Well,
Yeah. If you click on it, it just says pre-order for $69.99. So
I know it's not gonna happen, but it'd be really cool if somebody has brought this to Microsoft's attention. Xbox is like, okay, guys, we made a mistake. So everybody for the first 24 hours, go.
But how would that be like a slap in the face? Like Sony brings their game over and we put it in Game Pass, right?
that would be crazy, dude. You know,
They
hey,
have to
we don't
pay.
think that this system is actually profitable or sustainable, but we're gonna put our first game ever on that system on Game Pass. Yeah.
Right. Well, thanks, chat, for especially Stubz. I'm calling you out, Stubz. You ruined my dreams.
Shattered them.
You're cool, Stubz.
Hey.
I like you, Stubz.
They just accidentally gave us a tease of their newest acquisition, Sony.
Nice. Wow. You know how the internet would be in rage right now. The whole thing would go on fire
Yeah.
if that happened. I'm gonna see if I could bring up Mab's thing real quick too. But while I do that, anybody have any other things to say about this? PK or anybody?
So I would just say that I always felt like specifically sports games should never be only on one platform, right? It's not that kind of IP, but it's also said with IPs like Minecraft, right? I know a lot of people don't think about it like that, but Minecraft is also one of those IPs that are multi-plat for that same reason. It's just one of those games where you want to encourage not just multi-plat but also cross play. And I know that game also states there will be cross play. And that's kind of how I view it is it's a long time coming. Yes, MLB kind of threatened them about their licensing structure and kind of forced their hand, but the point is everyone will be able to have an opportunity who is a fan be able to give it a chance, right? And I think that's important, right? I'm not saying all games, especially if they're their own IPs, like the Uncharted's and the Gods of War and things like that. I see that not bringing any value to go multiplat. The same way I see a lot of Microsoft's new acquisitions now becoming first party IPs that do not include that kind of structure should remain in house. But anything else that benefits from a bigger community, I think should be multiplat. And I think it's a good thing, right? I think it's a good thing, long time coming, and hopefully see more of this coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
No sports game. No sports game should be held to one console.
Unless they each were allowed to have their own, right? That's where the kicker is here, right? Like if it's just MLB and there's only one game, definitely, Now if PlayStation and Xbox had competing games, I would think it would be okay, right? But not the way it is now.
Right.
Well, we got a couple other topics. I'm trying to pick which ones might be the better ones to show. But one of the this is breaking news today, actually, and I think this is a really good topic for college football fans. So in England, they probably watch a lot of college football, so very excited. Breaking news, EA Sports is rebooting its college football series for next-gen consoles. The announcement ends the hiatus that the game has taken since then. Michigan quarterback Denard Robinson appeared on the cover of NCAA Football 2014. That comes from SportsCenter, verified Twitter account, by the way. So I'm really excited because I honestly love the college football games. I used to, when I played them on Xbox, I used to think that the character, that their mascots were kind of quirky and fun when they did show up in the background in the crowds and stuff. And they seemed to have a different learning curve than just like a regular Madden game for me. It seemed like a little bit more off, like the players weren't as good, and I enjoyed that about the series. Mav, I'm gonna go to you because I assume that you like football and tennis and all these kinds of sports. So, what do you think about this?
Yeah, dude, I've always been a big time sports game and just sports junkie in general. Like I play usually all of them, but yeah, NCAA, I missed it. It had that different flavor, and due to the lawsuits and stuff they had back then with the class action lawsuits, they had to stop making NCAA football game. Now they're looking for, I guess, way around it, like Midway was telling us earlier, and have some interesting ideas there. So I'm excited to bring that gameplay back because it was more. It was actually more of a free-flowing, fun game for me to play. Madden was more about the play calling and strategy, whereas NCAA for me was always more about the stick control and movement. Fat is kind of more about in-game fun as opposed to just the mind games. And if you get into these football games, you understand what I'm saying. But also the players, like were different. They kind of felt more like actual people. So I don't know. It's something about this game. It has me super excited to bring back to play, and it's nice to have at least another option out there besides Madden, even though it's made by the same guys, right? Same company, both the EA. It's nice to have another option out there to get your football fix in.
Absolutely. Midway, any thoughts on this?
Thank God. I was a huge NCAA football fan all the way up until the end there. I was that guy until because like up I think it was like 12, 13, 14 I think when you were able to download rosters. So I was that guy that would spend hours upon hours upon hours just writing in the names. Get the roster. Remember this is like 2002, 2003 all the way up to about 9 or 10, and then I would basically like just go to the computer, print out the rosters, and then just look at, you know, I was really deep into it. I'd be writing the rosters, and then obviously players transfer and stuff. So I'd actually go back to last year's roster and figure out the player that was on the team this year. So I was all into it, and just like I really loved uh uh the like the pageantry of the way they made the game. Very college, very rah rah. And it made me more, I think, more of a fan because me knowing all of those players that I just put in made me feel like I knew the sport, like, and was really involved in the sport. Um, and yeah, so like they're not dealing with the NCAA directly. Shout out to Hogue Law. He did a very good video on it if you guys want to look it up. He that they're going through something called like the CLC, which is the Collegiate Licensing Company, and they still have like hundreds of colleges that are under license, so they're trying to go through it that way. Um, and they were supposed to have some sort of agreement this past January, but they tabled it. So just watch the video, guys. It's it's coming. It's just a matter of when, but I think our patience is going to have to just last just a little longer. I mean, I don't know who here has played NCAA 14 since.
I have.
I have, and I don't know if you know, but you can go and find people that literally have downloaded rosters to this year. Like you can go download it, find the gamer tag, download it, and then play with players that are playing this year. And they have everything. It almost appears almost like professional, like up to the rating. Ratings are different, all that stuff. Like and it's very well put together. So you could tell that this game is sorely missed, and there is still a cult base out there playing it, and I'm really excited to see what happens in the next year or so. Hopefully, most likely not this year, but hopefully next year.
I missed the helmet.
Yeah, hold on, Mav. Say something, and you can get a helmet live on air.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Mav. I'm ready to smash you on the gridiron, in the NCAA 2022, probably. Yeah. You know what I did midway? Actually, you're the one that put in all that work, doing all the rosters and stuff. And then guys like you were kind enough to upload those, to the EA servers. And I would go and I would download that. And it was awesome.
So
thank
I
you.
did the work for you. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I'm definitely not the person that would do the work, but I appreciated the heck out of guys like you that did.
You thought smart, not hard.
Yeah. I was always more of a NFL. Like I knew all the NFL players, but I didn't follow college football as much like until it got into the playoffs, or not playoffs, but the towards the end of the season, right? And then that's when I really got into it and learned a lot about who the players were. But
it's almost like EA introduced me to my wife, because like I fell in love with Auburn football. I'm from Illinois. I'm from the Chicagoland area. Like, I'm a part of the Union. So, watching the rosters, playing the games, and then starting to get more into the real teams and all that stuff. Like, I started liking the Auburn Tigers. So, and I've been a huge fan of them ever since.
Yeah,
so
bro.
It's what,
Cadillac Williams, man.
Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown. I mean, I could say the whole starting defense from the 2004 Sugar Bowl undefeated team right now. So, but yeah, very exciting, and I just hope that. I mean, a lot of players are even saying how they miss it, and it's a missed opportunity too. I think I want to know what how the spirit of football is without the game since it was gone. So I mean, I think and a lot of players miss it too, and it's almost like free. Obviously they would like to get paid, but it's almost like free advertising sometimes. Hey, this player's on this team. Oh, I like him. Blah blah blah. So I'm gonna start following him. So I mean, there's a whole generation that's missing this, and I hope when it comes out, it'll create a new stronger fan base.
EK.
Listen, you guys just blow my head, and I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm more of a straight nerd. I'm not into the sports games as much outside of UFC boxing and wrestling, so this is beyond me. But I will say that it is good to have those options back for the fans. I'm always about options and including everyone. And just because I might not be into it, I'm glad someone else gets to enjoy it. So that's my point of view.
Oh no, I gotta give you a football helmet, PK. Say something.
Yeah, so this me. I'm playing behind all my homies that knows all about this than I do. And I'm just gonna be here to block. That's all I need to do. You tell me what I'm just blocking. That's it.
Nice.
Does anybody remember ESPN College Football 2003? So that
I
was the
didn't. Play,
one.
yeah, I didn't play
That
that
was
one.
the
I think.
one. That was the one game that because remember at that time it was you had Madden, and then you had ESPN NFL 2K.
Yeah,
So 2K, or at the time I should say Sega, they 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 did a college football game for a year, and it held its own for its own merit. It was a smooth game for its time, but like that's what I would like to see. I think that innovation and yeah, like just the pure innovation of the sport can get sometimes dull, which is what's proving with Madden a lot. That there's just not enough innovation year on year, um, which I think in today's technology you could probably do a Madden and then like every 2 or 3 years come out with a new Madden, just do roster updates and what a Ultimate Team content or something like that. But I digress. But I think uh, NCAA football and Madden should start having a competing developer to do this. And I know I feel like 2K was kind of 2K/Sega at the time was probably kind of like ripped apart because 2000 Madden 2006 was the first year that they did the exclusive license with the NFL. So I would like to see competition in that era when the next license agreement runs out with EA.
yeah. So 2K got the rights to make like a arcade like football game now based on the NFL license, but not Sim still. So we'll see. Maybe loosening up on that, and with the trends lately of companies like MLB forcing companies to make things multi-platform and stuff. Maybe they're going to ease up on their license as well and like, give somebody else a chance. So Star Wars did it also to EA recently, right? They say, hey, no,
Yeah,
we're going to go to other places as well. So it would be nice to see because the best football game of all time, ESPN NFL 2K5,
absolutely. I
100%.
still have it on my shelf.
Nobody will ever convince me otherwise. Their other attempt after that, after they lost the license, was also a great game, All Pro Football NFL 2K8.
Yeah,
But I mean, just without that NFL license, it's kind of doomed to succeed, right?
it's like
Um,
that one Madden 64, right? I mean, it was
yeah.
Madden 64 had like no licenses. It wasn't Tennessee Titans. It was Memphis. It wasn't New England Patriots. It was Foxborough. It's hilarious. Bland colors. Yeah, you're right. And I think we're not saying that they shouldn't make this game. We're just saying that they should have a competitor to give you the best experience.
I can name one sports game I really enjoyed that was like supposed to be a simulation style sports game that didn't have a license, and that was a baseball game back in the day called Bottom of the Ninth. If anybody remembers that game, I mean, you could get like 100 score in it. I mean, it was crazy, but yeah, a Bottom of the Ninth. Shout out to that game. This reminded me of that.
I'm gonna give you the two best sports games I have ever played. Bad News Baseball on NES. That was really fun. It really was.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, you can hit people with the baseball and they would like have weird animations. And two, Super Techno Bowl on Super Nintendo.
right on. Yeah, Super
Every-
Tecmo Bowl. Me and my brother played so much, dude. It was
Yeah,
great.
the first baseball game I ever played was it was called All Star Baseball. It was like 1992 on the SNES.
Yeah.
And then the football game I always played was Super Play Action Football. I don't know if anybody's ever played
Oh
that.
yeah,
I
dude.
heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, like
remember the game day, NFL game day too. Remember those?
Yep. I later went to Troy Aikman football, and then the Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball game. But yeah, just roots, man. You start with your roots, and the passion grows.
With that said, I think Mama's over there thinking of like cricket right now and rugby. I can tell. Like,
Are we talking about rugby?
yeah. So I'm just gonna move on to the next topic real quick. Judgment Remastered coming to Xbox Series S, X, PS5, and Google's Doom Stadia. It feels like gonna be $39.99 on launch. It's made by the same guys that make the Yakuza series. It's more or less like you're playing as like I think a cop or a detective, a homicide detective or something, but it's in that universe, and it's a whole different perspective, I guess, from a storyline angle. I am kind of excited for it because I had it on PlayStation and I never got around to playing it, and then I traded in my PS4 for a digital PS5, so I can never play it. Now that it's coming remastered, I can get those achievements on Xbox, and it's just another goodwill of fortune that we see, kind of like another excellent Japanese title coming to Western consoles like Xbox. So I'm excited for it. I don't know what you guys think. Mama, I'm gonna go to you first. I don't know if you played Yakuza.
I have not. No.
So
No.
you
So I
are
never
you- so you don't have an opinion on this one?
no.
Have you
I'll just
played
play it
Yakuza, or
Huh?
have you
No.
played Yakuza, or have you seen the trailers to it?
No.
No,
No.
it's okay.
Thanks.
If anybody's listening from Mulhorn Gaming, she wants to do a review on it.
Yeah, you got to diversify your portfolio.
I have.
Yeah, it says it's a spin-off. With the Game Pass and everything, I haven't gotten into the Yakuza series from the beginning, but I definitely will get into it. And the fact that he's a detective in that, so basically you're gonna get the quote-unquote good side of the story. Um, it's definitely I could see the intrigue. So I'm interested in Judgment.
Nice, glad to hear that. Mav, any thoughts on this?
I have not played this game before, but I haven't played a lot of Yakuza. I've dabbled in Yakuza, and I am actually excited to go and I want to play the whole series. But I understand this is it's different than the other ones, right? This one you're a detective. It's more of trying to solve like a different character you're playing as. You're trying to solve crime or whatever and stuff. So that intrigues me greatly on this one as well. I want to like invest myself into this whole series and really learn about everything because it plays pretty awesome. I just haven't had the time with everything else out there to dive in as much because each game out here is like 20 hours or so or more. And there's 7 games now on Game Pass with between Yakuza 0 to Yakuza 6 or maybe even more. I don't know how it all works. Like because they got Kiwami also. Is that something else? I don't know. Is that okay? So and then you got like a Dragon, which isn't in Game Pass yet, but it's probably eventually going to be, which is you play as another different character. Y'all were explaining this to me in the chat the other day because I was asking Yakuza questions, right? So I need to figure out like what am I going to play first? Am I just going to go ahead and go for like a dragon because it's the newest thing? Am I going to wait for this maybe now? Like I don't know, man. But there's so much freaking Yakuza everywhere right now. It's like everywhere I look, there's a Yakuza. I need to get invested into this because it's pretty awesome and it seems like it's made for me, really, to tell you the truth.
Well, see, once you get into Yakuza, there's like a lot of mini games in there too. It's not just the main storyline. So there's like
Karaoke also. Yeah, I like
Yep.
the karaoke. I've done that before.
the crane machines. There's crane machines.
Yeah.
There's collecting cards like Pokemon cards, but I forget what it's called. There's
Gotcha,
go-karts.
right.
Yeah. There's go-karts. So I mean, there's just so much to do in there. And then there's even like forget what they call it in the game, but it's like there's booth girls, like phone sex booth girls that you accidentally call, and there's like a mini game.
Bite your tongue.
Yeah, there's a mini game on trying to win a date with one of them. Yeah, I forget what his PK might know. He might remember it because he loves Yakuza too. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. Like the whole studio is very interesting, and it's unique takes these kinds of things. I mean, just imagine like being a member of the Yakuza and you just feel like playing, you just feel like going in a go-kart one day, you know? You're like, you know what? Drop official business today. I'm going to hang out at the go-kart park, you know? It's just, I don't know. It makes
That's
you kind of
what I
crack
love
up
about
when,
it.
yeah.
Like a Dragon's turn-based, which like has me so freaking intrigued with that. Like the it's got this job system with different kinds of jobs and character, like with the character creation and leveling up and stuff. It's it has so many interesting ideas that are kind of off the wall and zany. You know, that's what I want to experience. So I'm excited to try it out.
Caitlin says you would love it. You would
Yeah.
just love it. Just love it. She emphasized that, I think.
Yeah, I would for sure.
Oh, maybe because I brought up the phone sex operators. Maybe that's
Sounds
Yeah,
like
the booth
sounds like it would be
girls.
very
Makes sense.
immersive.
Yeah.
She
Immersive
probably
experience.
she'd probably like to watch it.
Booth girls.
Didn't she like the stuff in GTA? If I remember
No,
correctly.
in GTA, what she liked to do was, pay for services,
Yeah, uh-huh.
in the car, get what you paid for. Let the prostitute escape the vehicle but leave the vehicle, and then she would proceed to run her over to get her money back.
I used to do exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Now, did you do it over and over and over again, repeatedly? Like it
I used to go to
drive
different
around?
areas.
Right.
Straight.
Yeah.
I
think
never
that's-
lost any money.
You mean would you drive over, look back, reverse, go back over them, and then
And
drive
just
over
to
'em
make
again?
sure again. Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting.
Zink has a comment in the chat that from the last segment, he is talking about Tecmo Bowl, Jaleco's Bases Loaded. I remember that. Joe Montana Football, Baseball Stars, the first Madden with 16 teams and cities instead of the real NFL names. Yeah, I think that's what you talked about, right? Right, Midway? The Foxborough or whatever?
He might be talking about the Super Nintendo Madden.
Yeah, Tecmo Bowl actually back then didn't even have real teams, I don't think, right?
No, I don't think so.
Wasn't there a
Tecmo
Bo
Bowl,
Jackson football also?
There
There's a
might have
lot of
been,
Bo
I
Jackson
think.
things.
The first college football game was Bill Walsh college football. So that's what EA is going to use instead of NCAA. They're just going to say college football. EA Sports college football. So you could tell they're going to be loopholing the crap out of that game. So
PK, what do you have any thoughts real quick on this Judgment?
Yeah, so I played pretty much all the Yakuzas. I just didn't get to beat 6 because I failed to prepare for the last boss. But I can't wait to definitely give it a shot again now on Xbox. I learned my lesson. And I think you guys would be pretty impressed. The game is like, it has a little bit of everything, but it also, like, if all you want to do is do the story, you could do that, but it has so much stuff to distract you from the main story. Like literally, just at Zero alone, I literally was halfway through the game and had 80 hours into the game. just because of the side stories. You don't have to do that, but it has so many little activities, and like I was mentioning, clowns. Those, like if you start with zero, those relationships that you develop in the side stories, they carry over to Kiwami, which is a remake of the very first one. Which I'm glad they did because it was horrible on a PS2. Trust me, you don't want to hear what Japanese think Americans talk like in English. It's horrible. I mean, it is almost an abomination, right? So, um, with these remasters and all that, I think you guys would truly enjoy. Um, Even if you start with Like a Dragon, like I said, that's a whole different storyline, and it's a different way to play the game. Though it still has the zany, crazy characters, funny situations. I mean, you gotta. I mean, literally, and if you start with zero, there's this old man running around in his underwear, and you have this interaction with him. You're like, what? You have no idea, man. It has all that good comedy and mixture of things. Overall, the story is pretty good. So this is kind of why I wish it is a in-house studio doing this, right? For Microsoft, because that kind of narrative driven thing plus with the Japanese spin on it would be dope. Um, so yeah, I think you guys should definitely give it a shot, especially now that you have it all on Game Pass. You definitely will enjoy the story, if not everything else that goes on in that crazy world of Yakuza.
Yeah, it's
Right on.
definitely a good, definitely a great series. Are you excited about that Judgment Remastered coming? I don't think that's
Yeah,
going
so
in. I don't think that's going to go into Game Pass right away though.
so that game, w- it was not available on the PlayStation very long. So I am excited it's coming to Xbox because I did not get a chance to pick that one up. And the Judgment, um, since it was hard to get on PlayStation and now it's going to be available with the remaster version for the next gen console with I guess enhancements, that should be dope. I think you guys will really like it. It's a spin-off, though it takes place in the same time frame as Yakuza series, the first series. The time zone it happens in actually takes place in the same time zone as Kiru's uh, storyline. So um, you'll see little Easter eggs and things to point to that, and I think you guys will pretty enjoy it a lot, even though it's different.
Okay. I mean, that definitely sounds good. I know I'm gonna play it for sure. I don't know if I'm gonna get it right away. I did have it on the PlayStation 4 on disc, but I traded it in only because I got a digital PS5 and it didn't suit the PS5. So, I mean, now that you said it was kind of hard to get, I kind of wish I held on to it just to see if it became valuable. Because I never even opened it. It was still sealed.
I mean, you probably find it in a discount tray somewhere at GameStop or maybe on eBay. But yes, buying it at the time brand new was very difficult. Kind of like the Dragon Ball games at the time on PlayStation. It was just impossible to get. But yeah, um,
Huh.
can't wait for it.
Well, the last topic before y'all get out of here, because I know it's starting to get late for Momo over there in the UK. Real quick, it's kind of like a quick topic. So, Drew Murray leaves the initiative for personal reasons. And it seems like everybody on Twitter went clickbait with this and is like, oh my god, Drew Murray's jumping ship from the initiative. But really, it's because there's a lot of personal stuff going on in his life. And I just want to clarify that, it's not because the initiative is sinking. It's not because Xbox is doing bad. It's because the guy has personal stuff. And we all have personal stuff in our life. And, at this point in his life, he needs to take that step back and do what he needs to do. And I feel bad for him because everybody's clickbaiting this and turning it to be something it's not, as like some console war crap, and it really isn't. And I just want to bring that up and see what you guys thought about it. Anyone, feel free to jump in.
Yeah, I feel like that's tasteless, honestly. Um, it also shows that people need to stop trying to uh, jump on any negative thing to. I mean, first of all, this whole console war stuff is stupid. All right, we're all gamers, and that's what we should be doing. But for the fact that not even reading into the details on why this person is having a hard time, not trying to understand, and but just jump on the title without reading it because they felt like it was something you can clown the other side on is crazy to me. Not only is it tasteless, but that people need to really think about why we in this situation now where where our world is in this pandemic. It's because we have people that don't want to listen, and we have people who only want to talk. They only want you to see from their point of view and don't want to understand why other people are hurting. And this is, like I said, it to me, I it's hard for me to articulate the words, but it really is terrible this thing happened.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So it. I didn't mean at the. It. I feel for him that he's going through what he's going through. Also, it's a shame, that he has to leave what he's doing behind for that and everything. Ultimately it is a loss for the studio because he was a great creator, I think, and so that. But at the same time, I think he's had time to. Um, from the game perspective, he's had time to put his stamp on it, right? So I think what we do receive at the end of the day will still have some of his, a lot of his input because he helped even develop the studio, not just the game, right? So he was one of my actually uh, favorite creators there because of like he worked on Sunset Overdrive with Insomniac and stuff like that. And he seems like just a super nice guy, like super cool dude on Twitter. He'll interact with you. He posts pictures, like just fun pictures. I like the guy a lot. I wish him the best. And Xbox unfortunately lost somebody great here, but it seems like it was necessary for him, and that's what's most important now, and not anything else. So uh, that's all I got to say about it.
People that spin it for their own narrative, to me was disgusting without doing the research. Uh, as somebody that, if you were some type of researcher, you'd say, well, why did he leave? But no, people are saying straight up off the bat, the second they hear the word, oh, jumping ship, oh, he's leaving, up, it's not working out, da, 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 like, Halo's a mess now, da, 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 it's just, it it definitely rubbed me the wrong way, especially when, uh, you come to find out that the man's family is in a very bad place right now, and that he needed to take the time, to quit to quit his dream job was the quote. I mean, it was just
Yeah,
you feel for the guy. You hope everything turns out all right, and maybe at a certain time things, he'll be able to. I'm sure he's got an open door policy there if he ever wanted to return. So hope everything's all right with him, and just guys, just these Twitter guys are just personalities and walking cliches that try to, work things to their uh to their favor. So just remember these are just people. They're not professional journalists. So just take everything, that's why I always say you hear someone on Twitter say it, you look it up first. Don't even agree with it. Don't even write a message or retweet it. Look it up first, all right? And then always do your due diligence when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. And you know, don't the hardest part for a lot of people, and I understand because you want to defend, you really do want to defend Drew and defend people that get picked on like this on Twitter. But when you engage with the trolls who spread the negativity, you're spreading it even further because people see you, you know, respond, retweet, like, whatever, even though your intentions might be good and it may well be, you know, in a way to try and stop that negative person, but it's only gonna further the fuel and make it worse and blow it up even more. That's how stuff spreads, unfortunately, virally, you know. The best ways to do is like when you podcast, you know, just shout out that you don't tolerate this kind of stuff, and doing it that way, you're not blowing up the tweets, not blowing up Tumblr or Reddit or wherever you are, so that other people can comment. But you say your piece and you say why you feel that way, and that's why I like this platform of podcasting. Mama, do you have anything that you want to say on this?
Just I think people need to realize that these developers and people that work in the industry, they're human too. You know, I've seen quite a lot of them get a lot of backlash, especially like BioWare and EA devs. I mean, the death threats, everything. You know, there's no need for it. It's you know, it's gaming at the end of the day. It's if it's not personally hurting you, then why? You know, I don't know. I think it gets way out of hand sometimes. And like you said, Clowns, when people come along and they like it and they retweet it, like a simple like, someone else can come and see it. And that's it. There's more people then added onto it. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it gets out of control.
Yeah, exactly. It does. And Psychonauts, yeah, I understand. You know, you said your condolences to Drew, and yeah, and that's the best thing to do. I mean, if you want to say your condolences, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, and you ignored the toxic fanboys. I see what you called them in the chat, but we'll call them toxic fanboys on the show. But yeah, I mean, that's the best thing to do. There's times where I interact with like Phil or Aaron or, you know, other people in the industry, and people come under that and they just say stupid stuff like, so Phil, when are you gonna do this? So Aaron, when are you gonna do this? And it's like, okay, that's not what the tweet was about, so I'm not gonna respond to that nonsense. Like, you know, it's the best way to handle it, and that goes for any situation that you're involved in on Twitter. It's the best way to make it better space for everybody. Anybody want to say anything before we get out of here?
I'll just say my first reaction when I saw that, I just saw like the headline. It says he was leaving. I saw somebody else comment on it or whatever. So I was like, say it ain't so, you know? And because now what's most important 100% is him, and he has to do what he has to do for him. And we all have to respect that, right? We can't say, hey, he's leaving because, you know, he thinks Xbox sucks and, you know, he's had it there, you know, and all this ridiculous stuff. At the end of the day, it is a harder loss for Xbox because of the guy that I think he is, than it is for him leaving Xbox because he's leaving to something that's more important for him. Right. So that's the main takeaway for me anyway.
Yeah. Well, it looks like that's it. We hit the 2-hour mark. And HTK, your comment is correct. That's what we've all heard as well. You know, so my thoughts and condolences are with him and his family and his friends that, you know, are feeling the brunt of this too. There's people around him too, I'm sure, that kind of feel this, and it's just a sad time, man. I mean, a lot of people out there are affected by many things. It's been a crazy last year, and we're coming into another crazy beginning of this year. So hopefully it just gets better. We all can, you know, get back on with our lives and play video games and have some fun and avoid Mav killing us in Halo Master Chief Collection. So I had to throw that in there. Sorry, Mav.
Yeah, it's okay.
But with that said, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and do the outros. PK, this is your first episode, Fantastic job, by the way, buddy. I mean, I've heard you on other podcasts and I talked to you in party chat, but I think you brought a lot of knowledge and passion to the show on topics that you felt strongly about. And where can people find you, man?
Hey, thanks for having me. Absolutely. Thanks to be part of the family. You guys can find me on Twitter at PKX Live and on my YouTube channel at PK Entertainment. And I know it's been a while since I've been on YouTube. Things happen, but I'm coming back. It's 2021 and I'm definitely bringing the heat. So look out for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I would definitely like to see PK get on other podcasts as well, even as a guest spot. He's a really good dude. You heard him talk here. You heard his positivity about gaming. He's a real positive guy. So, pleasure having you as part of Four Guys, man. Definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely, bro. Thanks.
And, Mama, you've been up to some pretty big stuff lately. You've been writing reviews. You are writing a book, right? That's coming out soon. So where can people find you? And if there's a title for your book yet, let everybody know.
Well, there isn't. I mean, there is a title and there isn't a title. I'm kind of still going backwards and forwards on what it's going to be called. But you can find me over on Twitter. It's twitter.com/thatmama_rocks. You can find all my writing over at mulehorngaming.com. Yeah, I think that's my main places.
And for everybody listening, if you caught the tail end, she wrote a review for the Medium, Mulehorn Gaming. So go check that out and retweet it. Retweet it so people can see it.
Yeah.
And next, let's go to the Hulk of Chicago. I think he loves that term by now, right? Do you like the Hulk of Chicago? Yeah, I think he secretly does.
He covers it up really well.
He blushes
It's like
every time you say it.
It's
right?
It's like my Iron Mask.
The Hulk of Chicago.
It's like my Iron Mask, Wear it until you love it. So, great show, guys. Very informative. Even possibly caught a Xbox store glitch. You never know. So, Midway 8 Monster on Twitter. Great time. PKX. You definitely have more information on the tech side of things, but I love your input on everything. So you're gonna fill in basically what I lack. Basically, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes us a good team. We're a good team. So glad to have him on the show. Mav, always fun. Just remember where you came from if you go on a podcast. And Clowns, the man behind the curtain, the one pulling the strings. Definitely a growing PGA golfer. And that Mama Rocks, glad to have you on the show again. Thanks for staying up late. And have a good night, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Thanks for supporting us.
And Mav, the infamous host or co-host of the Xbox Ultimate podcast with Caitlin, the team leader in Halo on community nights, and the Spartan you don't want to duel against. And there's so many other things, Mav, lately that you've been up to. You're getting out there, man. It was good talking on Primetime Gaming with Mr. Boomstick and friends. Good seeing you on other shows. Good that other people are listening to you and hearing your positive voice in the community. Your reaction to the Xbox Live Gold reversal, which was really cool. So where can people find you, man?
First off, a lot of this is thanks to you, sir. So thank you, Clowns, and all you guys here with me also on this show. Y'all are awesome. All of you are awesome. And in the chat, shout out to everybody in the chat. Hello. How are y'all doing? Super fun show with you guys all hanging out there. Hey, clowns! I got a little bit of Battlefield news. If you want me just to say just a little snippet here,
Yeah.
if you
go
got a
for it.
second, okay. All-out military warfare with more players than ever before, taking full advantage of next-gen consoles with new features. A full reveal set for spring, and release holiday 2021 for the new Battlefield game. It's progressing well, and the team is on track to be feature complete earlier than prior games. So it looks like we're in store for something pretty cool. But yeah, so we'll talk about that some other time, I guess. But thanks everybody for tuning in to Four Guys with Quarters, and you can find me on Twitter at Fun Speculation, on YouTube on the channel Fun Speculation, where as Clown said, you can check the Xbox Ultimate Podcast, which airs Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. This week we have ACS Husk is a guest from Gaming Beyond the Box, and
his
Fireside News Weekly Roundup. I think Fireside Weekly News Roundup, and also we have Lady AF is going to be there as well from Gaming Beyond the Box, and we got Psychonauts is also making an appearance this week. So we're going to have a big show, lots of fun news on that show, as well as you can catch me here on Tuesdays on Four Guys with these awesome people here. And Stubz invited me to be on Stubz Cast this Sunday, February the 7th. So I am super excited for that. And special shout out also to Stubz for helping me get on to Primetime Gaming, because it is actually his tweet that prompted that whole thing from happening.
Sweet.
So, yeah, fun times, everybody. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you're soon to be a PGA Tour pro golfer with Midway and I hear.
Yeah, Dragon
What?
Wolf shouted me
What?
out a code, not a code, but a link on DMs to a website that I'd never heard before that had a sale on PGA for a code. So I was able to get it on the cheap. And I am now a proud owner of PGA 2K 21.
Oh, I got golf.
I'll be golfing with you guys.
Does
Yeah.
that mean I'm the only one that hasn't got it now?
Yep.
Yes. No, PK doesn't have it either. We need to get it for PK somehow.
Yeah, it was some like
Dude.
European website, like Adiba or something like that.
Aniba.
Aniba.
Yeah. They're actually pretty good. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know the legitimacy of the site, but a lot of people buy it from them. So hopefully it's
It's
legit.
probably like CD keys or something like that. You know?
Yeah, it's like a CD keys. Yeah. Yeah. So check us out on the green, and I'll have a hole-in-one soon thanks to True Achievements. So Flemish, you can eat your candy bowl and shove it. And everybody, you can find me at Italian Clowns on all social media for GWQ Podcast. Four Guys with Quarters on Tuesdays. Primetime Gaming with Boomstick and Friends on Mondays. Game Beyond the Box on Wednesdays. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think that's it. If I forgot something, I am sorry. I will say it later. But see you guys next week, and thank you for coming out. Very fiery chat tonight. You guys have been awesome. Really appreciate the support in the community. And don't forget, check out Mav on Stubz Cast as well, coming up Sunday, as he said. That's going to be a fantastic show. And Stubz, I hope you get into the deep, deep stuff of his Halo lore and Halo love and find out what drives him to be a Spartan.
I was kidnapped as a child, and Dr. Halsey performed experiments on me.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. Some AR there too, right? Microsoft AI.
Yeah,
right? A little bit of brainwash.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Till next week. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Mass Effect, baby.
Yes, sir.